Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players versus Platinum podcast. Today we are doing our first ever special episode where we're going to pick a dedicated topic and discuss that. Today's topic is Resident Evil Requiem. So far, one of the biggest game releases of 2026 and a potential Game of the Year contender. To date, it is one of the fastest selling Resident Evil games ever in the series' history. It's received wide acclaim and unanimous good reviews. Today's Score Addict and I are going to give our thoughts on the game. We're going to start off with part one, which will be spoiler free. We're just going to give our first impressions of our first playthrough, our thoughts and our review on the game. And then part two will be spoilers and no holding back, where we're going to talk about what we loved about the game and also what we didn't like about the game and our criticisms and things we would have changed. And then stay tuned for the end because we're going to rank the game and where we think it stands in all the Resident Evil games that we have played so far. So, starting us off, Score, do you want to give us a little short tease of what the story is about?
Yeah, sure. So we play as Grace Ashcroft, an FBI agent that investigates murders, and she has a past trauma and fights for her life in an environment full of zombies, right? Classic Resident Evil. And Leon. Let's be honest, and Leon.
Absolutely.
um, and yeah, what's your first impression of the game when you started?
I, surprise, really liked it. I was blown away by quite a few things. I think my my initial thoughts were they really cared about the story. They really kind of went deep into the story, wanted to give us characters that we really connected to and enjoyed their journey and cared about their journey. I thought as a game, technically, it was excellent.
Yeah.
I'd say it's for me right now the best standalone PS5 game that I've played, possibly.
Hmm.
And definitely the best game I've played on my PS5 Pro. Not that there are many to choose from. But I was initially very happy with it. I thought highly of it and I ranked it high as well. What about you?
Hmm. So, if you remember correctly, last episode um, I asked you for an opinion and whether or not I should play it and buy it, and you sold me very well on the game, and I had a really good time playing this game. I didn't regret buying it day one, and it's a good game, fun game, good gameplay loop. We will discuss this later. Um, I explored thoroughly everything at my own pace. I saved often. That means I went back to the save point, right? So my first playthrough took me about 13 hours, I think. And the game timer stops when you pause the game. So my PS5 said it took me 18 hours, but the save file, I think, said 13 hours. So around that is the first playthrough where I explored everything, took my time with it, and yeah, it is a great survival horror game. And this is also a great action game. So Resident Evil 9 tries to do the balance between both worlds, right? We know that Resident Evil 5 and 6 are more action focused, or maybe Resident Evil 4 even. And so Resident Evil 9 tries to um, have both in it. And yeah, after my first playthrough, I had 33 of the 50 trophies. Without looking at a guide ever, I didn't look up anything. And so it was very satisfying to play through the game blind, knowing nothing about the game. Um, yeah. And my question for you is, how long did it take you and how did you play? Because there are two cameras in the game, and what's
Yeah.
your opinion on that?
So according to the end game timer that you get, I
Hmm.
played 15 hours, and to me, I thought it was maybe more like 20 hours. I only missed one file. I was very good with the whole
Oh,
collectibles.
wow.
This was no guide, no trophies, nothing. I missed one file, and it was so annoying. It was one of the most obvious files, but I think I got distracted by picking something up. Anyway, I
Uh-huh.
missed three Mr. Raccoons, and I got all the containers and safes done.
Yeah.
I I played very slow. I mean, if you watched me play, you would thought you'd think the characters had dropped their phone somewhere because I was checking everything. I was I was looking at every wall. I was looking for all kinds of information, and because they take a lot of care with like the art direction and putting
Hmm.
things in certain places. So I took my time with it. I think I got maybe a few more trophies. I think I was like 34 or something. All again accidental. I didn't read a guide. I didn't read the trophy list. In
Hmm.
terms of cameras, so Capcom were very upfront about this. The correct or the way they want you to, the intentional way to play the game is Grace is first person,
Hmm.
Leon is third person. I did not follow this. I chose Grace third person, Leon third person. How did
Oh,
you choose it?
interesting.
Yeah.
Um, at first, I was on your side, right? Because I enjoy third person more than first person. But I tried it for a couple of minutes, and for some reason, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel as scary, and I switched back to Grace's standard first person view. And by the end of the game, I really loved the first person mode because it makes it more terrifying because you can't
Mm.
see as easily behind you. And overall, I enjoyed the first person camera. Of course, Leon third person is also working very well. Um, I should do another playthrough in third person with Grace to see what that's like because I haven't done anything. I played through the game 4 times to earn the platinum. Spoiler, haha, I have the platinum already. Did 4 playthroughs. All of uh, them were with standard camera settings. First person for Grace, third person for Leon. So um, yeah, that's that. Talking about Grace and Leon, what are your thoughts about them and their gameplay?
Well, well, the reason I chose third person for Grace was when I've done both characters both ways now. I've done
Okay.
playthroughs first
Hmm.
person, etc.
Hmm.
When you do Grace in third person, she like stumbles and falls down, and it
Yeah.
really adds to the immersion because there's a bit where the
Ah.
big lady stalker
Uh-huh.
comes after you, and I started running away. And as you turn, she just stumbles onto the ground, and it adds to your like fear. You're like, oh my god! And she's like
Okay.
running, and she's like hitting the walls, and I was like, this is amazing. So you kind of lose that in first person, but obviously you gain a lot more horror.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I think with the two characters, it was really fascinating because Grace is not Grace is an FBI technical analysis. She's not a crime scene gunning down criminals FBI agent. She's not one of those. She's like a back office technical person at her computer writing excellent reports.
Hmm.
And Grace moves very slowly, very scared, and
Hmm.
her shooting is not great. And I did notice as you play the game, she gets a tiny bit faster and her shooting gets a little bit better, which I thought was amazing. So you
Wow.
do you
Yeah.
do feel like you're on a journey with her.
Hmm.
Um, and it's funny when you play as Leon and switch back to Grace, you're like, wow, Grace is so slow. It really hits you, kind of.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
But that's fine because also Grace's gameplay is the classic RE1, RE2 survival horror. Like you
Hmm.
think it through, there's puzzles, you do inventory management, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Hmm.
I thought Leon's gameplay was outstanding. I don't think it was an exact replica of RE4 remake.
Yeah, definitely
I
not.
think I think it had a few subtle differences. I think he felt heavier to move and it felt a bit more grounded, maybe. I think with RE4 you can get into a good flow and do things very quickly.
Hmm.
Um, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed both their
Hmm.
gameplays for their own unique reasons.
Yeah, the mixture is very good. I really enjoyed Grace's part, the survival horror part. That's Resident Evil for me personally. Of course, it was cool to play as Leon and get some action in. I do agree it is different from Resident Evil 4 because I didn't like it I didn't like Resident Evil 4 remake as much as this one in terms of
Interesting.
movement of Leon, and maybe because I knew a little bit more and they didn't rely too much on the okay, I gotta kick them and then I shoot them or hit them.
Yeah.
So because that threw me off when I first played Resident Evil 4, that you had to kick them basically to take them down more efficiently. And yeah, overall it's a great mixture, fun parts. Leon is a badass. It's great. Yeah, it's a really really good Resident Evil game.
And then
Yeah.
in terms of the classic gameplay,
Hmm.
they went all out with the Grace section, because I think Rhodes Hill Care Center, which is the first big area you play with as Grace, and they've shown it in trailers, so there's no spoilers here. I think people are saying it's gone down as one of the best Resident Evil locations, alongside the Spencer Mansion in Resident Evil 1 and RPD in Resident Evil 2 slash remake. Um, I think that whole sequence was amazing. The inventory space was so annoying, but in a good way.
Hmm.
There was so many times where I needed to pick something up, but I had a full inventory, and I was like, I can't get rid of anything, so now I have to come back here and get this again. And there's zombies around.
Yeah.
They give you good choices for crafting items. You
Hmm.
really have to make decisions, and it
Yeah.
really affects your gameplay style.
Yeah.
Because with Grace, they've given you a stealth weapon, which is one use only, and it's very good. The
Yeah.
hemolytic injectors.
Yeah.
And in terms of crafting, you can either choose to craft that or handgun ammo. So you really have to make a choice of, are you gonna be stealthy and kill one zombie, or do you want your bullets to try and stagger many zombies? It's very classic Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Lots of puzzles. I'd say the puzzles were good. They weren't
Hmm.
they weren't the hardest. They were kind of
No.
yeah, they weren't that hard. Good collectibles as usual. One of the best things about Resident Evil is the notes. The notes give you good lore. They give
Hmm.
you more story. They also give you clues. So if you're ever stuck, everything's there in the game. You just have to figure it out. So I think they really nailed the classical Resident Evil gameplay loop.
Yeah. I agree, and I really like the or I didn't like the beginning of the game when I felt really helpless because I had no resources at all, and I felt frustrating. I didn't know where I was. There were enemies all over the place. I couldn't move into another room without um, bumping into one enemy, and everything felt overpowered. And I was like, "Fuck this!" Sorry for swearing, but F this. I don't want to play this game. After my first session, I was like, no way, I'm going to play this. Then I slept, um, and came back to it the next day, and I calmed down. I focused on moving slowly, putting using stealth as much as I can, avoiding enemies, grabbing everything I could, going back to the chest, to the box, item box, and slowly but surely I built up some resources, and then I could, as you mentioned, then I had to make a decision. Do I shoot the enemies or take them out stealthy in a stealthy manner? And it was peak gameplay. I really really enjoyed the part with Grace, and yeah, I would agree. The location, the what is it called? The
The Rhodes
sanatorium,
Hill Care Center.
care center. Yeah, the care center was a really good location. Yeah.
They Yeah, and one thing they've done, they've evolved the zombies in this game, and it's quite amazing, because for some reason in this game the zombies retain some of their previous characteristics for when they
Hmm.
were human. So you'll have a zombie who's like a cleaning lady, and she's cleaning, and there's a guy who's obsessed with turning off the lights in the care center, and you can use this to your benefit, or it can work against you. So
Hmm.
like you, when I was first playing, I was like, I'm so underpowered, but there's so many
Hmm.
zombies. I was a bit like, I was kind of trying to figure it out. I was like, what does the game want me to do? And I realized you know, in one corridor early on, there's a zombie turning on and off the same light. But then if you turn on a light down there, he'll go there, and then he's out your way because
Yeah,
he's obsessed with that light. And I was like, oh, you use what they're
nice.
doing, and
Hmm.
it's really interesting. Like if you kill an enemy and make a mess, and the cleaning lady is nearby, she will go and clean up that mess, and then you kind of moved her out the way, or you've unfortunately put her in the way again.
Hmm.
So that was fascinating as well. Something I really liked, kind of having zombies that had this kind of human characteristic, because even
Hmm.
some feel bad about attacking you. There's like one I think that says I'm sorry if it tries to attack you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's one that tells you to run, which is really fascinating.
Cool.
So I
Yeah.
quite like that a lot.
What do you what are your thoughts on the blood collector? So there is this mechanic. You have a blood collector, and you can extract the blood from certain spots on the map or after killing enemies, and that's part of the crafting system. What did you think about that?
At first, I was like, "This is so weird." Honestly, I was like, "This is so weird," but then I got really into it. And the
Hmm.
reason I got really into it is because it's like a numbers game. So it's like you're like, I have 60 blood, and then there's 50 blood over there. But if I collect that, I'll lose 10 blood, and because your blood collector has a certain limit.
Hmm.
And so then you'd get enough blood, and you're like, do I craft this or this? And then on your map, if you've walked past blood, it'll tell you that there's like
Yeah,
50 points worth of blood in that corridor.
yeah,
So then suddenly I'm like, okay, if I craft this now, then I get to that corridor, I'll get 50 blood and I can craft that thing.
yeah.
It grew on me. It grew on me. I wasn't anti it at first. I was just like, this is so weird.
Hmm.
But it really grew on me, and I actually quite enjoyed it.
Yeah,
What about
same.
you?
Same. And the fact that everything's marked on the map, every not collectible, every item, um, the blood, the if you have an
Ammo.
item, ammo, stuff like that is marked on the map, and
Yes.
you have access to it. You can really see, oh, over there are two pools of blood, and there is a medicine item or whatever, and so that's
Yeah.
very convenient. It's one of the best gameplay decisions to make, and yeah, it's I really enjoyed it once
Yeah.
I got into it, and
It's really good because yeah, as soon
mhm.
as Grace or Leon see something, it gets
Yeah,
marked on your map. It's really helpful. And another fascinating thing they did is you the Rhodes Hill Care Center, you will play as both characters,
hmm,
and you have a choice, which is there are things Leon and Grace can both pick up.
yeah, yeah,
And so in this game, you have a choice where you're like, do I want Leon to have this, or do I want Grace to have this? It's really fascinating, and it can really impact how
yeah.
you play the game.
I agree with that. Same with enemies, right? You can choose to
Yes.
take out an enemy with grace, and then Leon doesn't have to deal with him with it anymore. And so, yeah, it's. I didn't notice it too much, to be honest, because I was so focused on Grace surviving. Um, but yeah, it's a cool mechanic, or a cool design decision. Yeah, I
Yeah, for
agree.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, the puzzles weren't too bad. I never felt stuck. Yeah, but it's nice to have these puzzles, and the gameplay loop of exploring puzzles, combat is very satisfying.
Who's there? What do I do?
What do you think about the locations, the visuals in the game?
I thought the locations were really good.
Mhm.
I thought. I was a bit taken aback. You open on the street, which has been shown quite a lot, but it was so weird to be in a Resident Evil game on like a public street with normal people.
Hmm.
You know, normally you're quite like isolated in a weird place with
Hmm.
weird people. And I was just like, we're just on a street in like a busy city. This is so weird. Like you're walking past a coffee shop or something, there's builders and you can hear them talking.
Hmm.
Um, I thought the locations were really good. I thought they all provided something different and they laid them out very well in terms of you go from the care center to then a much darker location, which I won't go into too much details. We'll do that in spoiler talk, but it
Hmm.
kind of switches up the grace gameplay, and you're like, oh, this is very different
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you know what I
forgot about
mean.
this for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah, so suddenly you've gone from like a brightly lit care center where you're a bit like I can see everything, this is okay. Then suddenly you're in a bit of a dark area, and you're like, this is
Oh
I'm on
yeah.
edge now.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the locations helped the game to feel quite epic because I think
Hmm.
sometimes in Resident Evil there's like a path. So with 4, it's a village that leads to a castle. You go through the castle, then you end up on this island.
Hmm.
In 2, you are on a police station. You go into the sewers. Whereas this felt a bit more like, I mean, at one point, Leon gets in his fancy car and starts driving to different places. So it felt much more bigger scale.
Yeah,
It covered a
definitely more
wider
open.
area.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
more open. Um, yeah, than in previous. Yeah, I brought this up this point because at one point I was like, well, this looks um, different from the other places, and I really noticed that. Um, and I took my time with it to look at everything, and yeah, the game looks amazing. It is one of the best looking games.
Yes.
Um, it feels real, and so yeah, all the locations you go on a journey, and it felt like a classic Resident Evil, and at certain parts it didn't because we didn't have had that yet. At least I didn't have it because I didn't play all of the games. But yeah, it's very what's the word? There's a variety of locations, and it does add to the overall grand feeling of the game and open at points. And then there's very tight corridors, and you barely have room to avoid enemies. And it's yeah, it's a best of a lot of locations and play styles and everything. Yeah, so that is something. Um, should we talk about a little bit about the trophies? What can players expect? Gamers.
Yeah. I th- I mean, you have the platinum. I don't. I have 3
Hmm.
trophies left, but I'm taking
Hmm.
my time with it.
Hmm.
I think we can safely say this is one of the easier Resident
Hmm.
Evil platinums,
Definitely, yeah.
which follows a bit of a theme with developers right now. They're kind of making more friendlier platinums, should we say?
Hmm.
It's got your classic. There's a speed run trophy. There's a no healing run trophy and a no item box trophy.
No
Have I got it
item,
wrong?
no item box.
No blood collector. Sorry,
No
no
blood
blood
collector.
collector.
Yeah.
Sorry, no blood collector. Which I combined into one run. I
Hmm.
did a speed run by myself with no guide, and I managed it with about 3 minutes to spare. It was very I was very nervous, but um and then the game has insanity difficulty, which I have to say, having played lots of these games on their hardest difficulties, I think this might be the hardest difficulty I've seen in a Resident Evil game.
But
And
I think
hmm,
it has to do with the style of your playthrough, right? Um,
maybe what instead of running, I'm trying to take down the enemies. And
yeah, and you didn't know. I think you told me you have no
oh,
infinite ammos.
yeah, I'm
So
trying. So when you play, with one thing the game has is you get completion points for playing the
hmm.
game and doing challenges, which is something they have in Village. I think they have it in 7 as well.
Hmm.
And they have in RE3 and RE4. And with these points, you can buy things. You can buy things like the models of characters to look at, the art books and stuff, which is really good if you're into the
Hmm.
game.
Hmm.
But you can also buy things like infinite ammo, other weapons, other charms,
Hmm.
infinite knives. And when you play Insanity, the game clearly gives you a menu comes up and it says you have points. You should go spend these on things to help you with
Really?
Insanity.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So the game is clearly telling you like I think you should buy infinite ammo and do Insanity. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's an easy way of going through Insanity playthrough if you use infinite ammo. I'm trying to do it without infinite ammo, and it's been painful so far. But how did you find your platinum journey on this?
So first blind playthrough, amazing. Most of the trophies. That is a good thing because I felt great after that. I did get all the containers, but I miss I think a couple of Mr. Raccoons, which were annoying to track. Although they give you at one point they give you the locations of these, but I wasn't sure which one I missed, and they only appear, of course, when you on the map. You look at the map, and you are in the area. Then you see, okay, there are some left. And on my collectible run, I think it's my second run. I was close towards the end. I still had 3 raccoons left, and then I decided to load all the saves and got the rest of them. And they were so specific. I missed
Yes.
them, of course. But in the end, I did it on my clean up run. Uh, got all the collectibles, all the documents. I think 75 documents, 25 Mr. Raccoons. So overall, not too bad. But I think a little spoiler: I didn't like the collectibles as much. Yes, they give you text, and I read all of them, which is not usual, but or not common for me. But yeah, I cleaned up, and then with the speed run, I felt too confident my first time around, and I got lost in the later section with Leon, and I was running around like a chicken without its head, you know. And I was close to the end of that section, and I had less than an hour left, and I was like, no way I'm going to do that. Okay, start again. And I made on my first attempt, I made notes, right? Okay, what is the essential? Which points
Yeah.
do I need to hit in order to progress the story? And the second time around, yeah, I did it within 2 to 3 hours, 3.5 hours, I think. So it's really manageable. But I used the rewards from the collector's point, no, the completion points
Yeah.
menu, which I love because it gives me the feeling I need. I want to feel powerful after all the stress and the terror of the first playthrough. I do love that. And the trophies, other collectibles we have, speedrun we have, no blood collector.
Some very good miscellaneous trophies.
Yeah.
Very
Um
fun. That I got naturally, actually. I got a lot naturally. And
yeah.
some really funny ones. Ones like get one zombie to kill another zombie. That's quite a funny
Yeah, by
one.
accident. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like
that's so
the,
funny.
the trophy popped, and I was like, huh? What?
There's a place the game has set you up. There's a place we both probably got it in the same place, but there's
Probably,
one
yeah.
place where you do a specific thing naturally, and it causes a zombie to get angry with another zombie. It's really funny.
Ah, yeah, probably.
Um, yeah, there's some good miscellaneous trophies in there. I was surprised at how many trophies I was getting on my first playthrough.
Yeah.
But then I had one of my good friends was playing at the same time, and I was spying on him. So I was looking at his trophy count, and he had the same trophy count as me. And I was like, oh, wow, maybe this is quite natural.
Yeah.
And even you ended up with over 30 trophies in your first
Yeah, which
playthrough. So
surprised me. Yeah.
I think it was deliberate. I think they gave good trophies that can come naturally, which is, I
To
think,
hook
quite
you.
nice.
Yeah. And I think it's a good decision. It felt satisfying. Satisfying as a trophy hunter, especially with no guides. I didn't need to worry about anything, and got rewarded for my exploration, because some of the trophies do have to or are for exploring or getting certain things and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
so very natural and not too bad. It's on the easier side, which was refreshing. A very well-rounded trophy list, I would say.
You could probably correct me if I'm wrong. I think the minimum you could do this in 2 playthroughs.
Yeah, probably.
You could finish the game and then you could do insanity speed run, no
Yeah,
healing.
yeah.
If you're crazy and you have an infinite gun, I think you could do
No
that.
healing insanity run is a bit crazy. Yeah,
It's a bit scary, but yeah,
bit scary.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Okay, I think we have 2 more questions left we want to answer. What's the
Yes.
first question?
For Resident Evil newbies, is Resident Evil 9 Requiem a good entry point to the series?
I think I asked this in the
Yeah,
podcast, and we do have our opinions, and I would say no, it is not.
yeah. Hard no.
Hard,
Hard
hard
no.
no. Yeah,
Yeah. For me, it's a hard no. Don't make this your first Resident Evil game.
yeah, same. You
Because
miss.
you'll regret it.
Hmm.
If you played Requiem and then you got into the series and played the others, you would naturally think, why did I do this? I should have made Requiem one of the last games I played. It's
Hmm.
basically, to use a very pop culture reference, playing Resident Evil Requiem as your first game is literally like watching Avengers Infinity War as your first ever Avengers film.
Good
It's
comparison.
literally you will know what's going on. You'll follow the story, but you will have no idea the references. There'll be
Hmm.
very iconic moments, and they will not affect you.
Hmm.
You won't understand some characters on their journeys.
Yeah,
It'll be an entertaining game, but you won't get everything from it. You'll
yeah,
get like 40% from it.
I agree. I refer to it as a best of Resident Evil.
Yes.
And if you have played some of the modern Resident Evils, which we have, right? I have 2, 3, 4 remake, 7, and then 9. I have not played 8 or Village, but yeah, it's more of a best of game. And I
Yes.
think, did you mention that Resident Evil has 30 years of Resident Evil or something along
This
those
year,
lines?
30th
This
anniversary.
30th anniversary, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
And
Um,
then
yeah, my question was and is, and hopefully this matters to you, is it worth full price?
yes for me.
Yeah, for me as well. And
Yes for me. Yeah.
I'm glad you sold me on it, and you were not wrong, and it was a good decision. So if you have played other Resident Evils before, 2 is a good thing. 4, I think. 3, I can't remember too much, but if you have played the modern ones, maybe 7, so you get used to the first person camera, which was good for me, I'd say,
Yeah.
then it is worth full price. And ride the wave, jump on the train, join the
Yes.
discussion.
And also, it's worth, I think, applauding Capcom because they've released a AAA game that is completely finished, completely polished, no glitches, no
Exactly.
bugs.
Hmm.
It's like, it's honestly, it's fantastic because in today's culture now, I don't know why you'll have a game come out and then they're like, oh, the day one patch is coming because we have to nerf this enemy, or sorry, this weapon doesn't work. And it's strange.
Hmm.
Whereas this game just came out perfect,
Hmm.
absolutely perfect, ready to play on the PS5 Pro or the PS or the Switch 2 or the Xbox. It plays perfectly. No one's reported
Hmm.
any major issues. So
Yeah.
well done, Capcom.
Yeah, I played on the base PS5, and it felt great. It felt good. It felt polished, and I didn't have to worry about anything technical
Yeah.
related. And so, yeah, it is worth your money if you decide to jump on now.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's a nice wrap up for the first part. I hope you make a have all you need to make a decision whether or not you play the game now or maybe later. And yeah, should we jump into the juicy part?
Yeah, no holding back.
Yeah.
No,
What we
no
really
balls.
think coming up, what we really think. Let's cut all the
Yes,
fluff.
yes.
Okay.
Grace, look at me. Grab my hands. Okay, look at me. In and out. Breathe in.
All right, on to our no holds barred spoiler talk about Resident Evil Requiem. Where should we begin? Should we begin with the characters?
Characters. I think
Characters?
it's the most obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Grace. I thought Grace was fantastic. I really liked her a lot. I liked her because she was, whilst being an FBI agent, she was an inexperienced FBI agent who doesn't go in the field. She's a person who has a big trauma in her past that's affected her, and it's quite horrific. I mean, that scene in the hotel. It's like the fifth cutscene when you see Alyssa Ashcroft get
Yeah.
murdered. It's brutal. Like it's horrendous, and she's standing right there and she sees it. I really liked her. I just thought she was very sincere. She cared. I think one thing I struggle with in 7 and 8 is I don't like Ethan, the main character. I just find him so odd. Like
Okay.
they made him an everyday guy, and he has no reactions to what's going on. Like the weirdest things are happening in front of him, and he's just like, okay, I'll pick up a gun and just go down the corridor. Oh, I found a shotgun. Okay, I'll use this. He has just no thoughts or feelings about this weird stuff happening. Whereas she is like, you can see, she allows you into this world because, let's be honest, if a zombie apocalypse happened, in our heads, we'd all like to think we'll behave like Leon. We wouldn't behave like Leon.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. In our heads, we might think we could behave like Leon. We wouldn't. We'd behave like Grace. We'd be stumbling on the floor, running around, breathing heavily, having panic attacks. Like it's, So I think she allowed us to get into that horror. And then Leon, I think Leon's appearance and performance in this game is fantastic. And the reason that is I think he's very much affected by the past. RE2 has a big impact on his psychology, and maybe even bits of RE4. And there are many scenes in this film where you see the impact of RE2 on him. It's really good. It's very cinematic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, cause
RE2 he's 21 and he has these bad experiences, and then RE4 he's like 25, 26, 27. He's at the prime of his life. He's really strong. He's very confident, and he's just a badass action hero. And you don't. There's a hint of like RE2 trauma, a hint in RE4, like a little bit. But then it's in this game where it's like, as an older man, you're like, man, this is really taking its toll on you. And you see him in quite vulnerable states and in positions of weakness, which I thought was fascinating. So I think it helped us to connect to him more. I think it adds to his journey.
I liked Grace. I liked the actor.
Yeah.
Who but to be completely honest, and that's my German brain, it forces me to be honest. I didn't like she was a bit annoying to me, at least. She overdid the
I can see that.
The panic.
Is it the stuttering?
The stuttering,
yeah, I agree
is one part. I love the idea of a vulnerable character with past trauma. I mean, the beginning is Grace's boss comes to her and sends her to the place where her mother got murdered, and puts her right into the trauma. Who does that? So I don't blame her, but it was a bit too much for me. It took me out, and some of her decisions didn't resonate with me and took me out of the game. Now I can't see why a normal person would react like that, but some of the things she did were I can't even remember them. I just remember I wouldn't do that.
Are you talking about maybe the scene where her and Leon kind of break up, where Leon does something she doesn't like, and then she walks away from him?
That was one that
Yeah.
but also in the beginning. So the beginning, the introduction didn't hit as hard for me the first time, because it was weird. It was a weird feeling, but maybe my brain was in a state of, man, this is a video game, and it was a bit too much fragility and trauma and stuttering and yeah.
The stuttering is, I agree with you, because 10, 12 hours into the game, I was I was kind of like impersonating her a little bit. Like whenever she would do it, like she would do it in my head. I was like impersonating her, because it's very strong.
And
She's-
I watched an interview of her, and she says that is her natural. If she feels anxiety, she tends to stutter, and the producers liked it apparently, and she went with it. And yeah, but it is a bit too much. Over the course of the game, I warmed up to her. I enjoyed her, and I felt connected to her once we both managed to overcome the terrors of the care center and the basement, basically. And but then in the end, yeah, the scene you mentioned, Leon and Grace split up, and that was just to set up the Leon part again, so they are separated, and it felt scripted. It didn't feel natural. Yeah,
I know what you mean. It was
it took me
convenient.
out of it felt convenient.
Yeah.
Very convenient, and that took me out of it. But overall, I loved her. I love the solution, the ending, because in the game there is this, what is it called, the
Elpis.
Elpis, yeah, and you get to make the choice whether to destroy or release Elpis, and that was really, really cool. And
The game kind of does something nasty to you, you know?
exactly.
I picked-
it does know what it's what it does, and
yeah,
remedies a little bit
Yeah.
of that, right?
the game. I was a bit shocked. So the game, I picked what I thought was the correct thing to do.
Yeah, what you would
then
normally do in a Resident Evil or any type
Yes.
of game. Of course, you destroy the thing.
And then I watched one of the most horrific cutscenes in human history, and I was like, oh. But then
Yeah.
But then the game lets you know that, no, don't worry.
Yeah. Do you want to jump back to that exact moment where you make the decision?
Yeah.
It's
Um,
honestly, I was prepared to see that in a way, because Leon is very very weak, and so I was prepared to do that, and I'm not as invested into the character as you are, probably.
I throughout the game, this was playing on my mind when I was playing as Leon. I was like, is this Leon's last game? And then as I was playing it, and when he starts getting really sick, you know, in the final act, I was kind of conflicted, because I was like, are they going to do this? And then also I was thinking, but they've made it a big deal that he's in this game. They've made it such a big deal. Like, they announced it in the third trailer. It was the big selling point. So they know he's the biggest character. And I mean, this game has confirmed that Leon is the poster of Resident Evil.
Yes.
Because I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe it's Chris, maybe it's Jill. Because people love all the characters, but it's clearly Leon. And then I was like, why, if you've made such a big deal about him, why would you kill him off? So I quite liked this because it was kind of playing on my mind while I was playing with him. I was like, is this the final show? But
yeah, and I was fine with it. And then I get to choose whether to go back or not. And I went back and did the other choice. And the intended ending is so much more satisfying. It feels like a proper Resident Evil ending with the endless cutscenes, big monsters, boss fights. It's a proper Resident Evil, and that is a very, very well-rounded experience in my opinion. And they redeemed themselves.
Yeah, and Leon has his badass moment in that cutscene.
Oh,
with the Requiem gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Bam, bam. Yeah.
And it's not post-mortem lividity.
And then we have many of the side characters to talk about.
What did you think of
interesting cameos? Victor Gideon. I liked him. He was at times he was very bad guy-esque, the way he was. He was very like Hollywood bad guy, but that's fine. I thought he was visually very interesting because he was a big man and he had the power. He could overpower both Leon and Grace easily. I like that he was connected to Umbrella. I like that it brought back Umbrella as the bad people, and he was obsessed with continuing the head of Umbrella's research and work. I like that. I thought he was good. I thought he was good. The only moment that I thought this was silly was the motorbike sequence.
Yeah, I was exactly thinking about that.
Gideon's on the motorbike with a rocket launcher. Like riding his motorbike and aiming at you. And I was just like, when did this become a 90s Hollywood film? When did this happen? But I also think that's deliberate because I think the game has various tributes to all the previous games. And I think that's like an RE6 moment because I know RE6 is very over the top. But I thought Victor was a good bad guy. I don't know where he'd rank in my Resident Evil bad guys, but he's good. He was good.
Yeah, I agree. He was terrifying, and I love this scene where Grace in the care center where Grace meets him in one of the offices.
Yeah.
And then she escapes and does a amazing thing, very smart thing in my opinion. That was a cool moment.
That was a good cutscene because I didn't expect that. Because you're really by that point, it's good game design. You're in the flow. You're in the middle of the care center. You're getting things, you're kind of figuring things out, and then you run into that office with a very particular thing you have to do. And it just cuts to a cutscene. I was like, what the hell? And then he's there. And I was like, oh, no. That was really good.
Yeah. I love
Then we had an interesting secondary bad guy that no one saw coming. This was one of my, I think I had 3 or 4 jaw-dropping moments in the game. And this was one of them. Zeno is his name. So when you first see and hear his voice, Zeno looks and sounds just like Albert Wesker. Albert Wesker is, of course, in Resident Evil 1. He's the main bad guy of Resident Evil 5. He's also in 4 and Code Veronica. He's been the series' main bad guy. And spoiler alert, since he died, everyone thinks that the series has struggled with a bad guy problem. That each game they make a new bad guy and then you finish it and then there's a new bad guy in the next game. So I was interested by it. It shows that you can duplicate him, his genes, his genetics. So I don't know what that will mean going forward, but I think there's more to it than we think right now. I think it will play a bigger part, especially with more remakes coming up.
Mm.
Remakes that involve Albert Wesker, who this Xeno is a clone of. But yeah, he was good. He was again very Hollywood. The suit, the cigarettes, the jacket over the suit, like he was
Mm-hmm.
very Hollywood. But I was so shocked that it was him that I didn't it didn't bother me. I was too distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I haven't played Resident Evil 1, and that was a puzzle piece I was missing. I assumed I got the presence. I knew he was some important characters in the series, but he did nothing to me.
Okay.
And but from everything that plays out, I could see, yeah, a guy that has some meaning. Um, Obviously, clone was in my head, the clone DNA stuff. I figured that out for myself, or I explained that to me in that way, and so yeah. But I have nothing to say about him in particular, because I haven't. That was my first interaction with him, and that's a good point why you should play other Resident Evils first.
Yeah.
So you get that,
Yeah.
get more out of it. Yeah.
He also is a boss fight that never happened. So now my question is, in our DLC, does someone get to fight him as a side fight
Ooh.
where he still maybe survives, because obviously he's in the end scene, etc. So I presume we might learn more, because they have confirmed, by the way, they have said that there will be a story expansion. That's what they've called it, the DLC. So, and they said, give us some time. It's going to take time. So I think we're going to get a very special DLC, like maybe, I'm hoping a 10-hour, at least 7-8 hour. So yeah, and then we had Sherry. Sherry returns for her third appearance. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, Resident Evil fans, but I think it's her third. So she's the little girl that you save in number 2.
Yeah.
And she's in number 6, which this game comes straight off of, which I quite liked, because everyone hates RE6, and I've watched it, but I've yet to play it myself. And this Leon and Sherry is directly from RE6. They're working for the same agency. So Sherry was good. I think she helped the Leon parts, because I think with Grace, it's lonely. You're stuck with your own thoughts, and all you can hear is Grace breathing and stuttering, and it's very scary. But with Leon, it's Sherry and Leon. Sherry provides good story and what's going on, and company while you're doing the Leon segments. So I quite liked her,
Yeah, I agree. It was a surprise to see her.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw the name, I was like, whoa, okay, nice. Because I haven't played Resident Evil 6, and I kind of regret it. That is one of the regrets I have, because the same with Raccoon City, because I know Raccoon City from 2, and then I come back and there's a big crater and everything's destroyed, and so I clearly was missing something, and I do want to play Resident Evil 6 now to fill in that puzzle piece. But I like the interaction, and they play off each other, and Sherry tells Leon to don't do something stupid, and then the reply is I would never, or something like that, and then it's the other way around the second time.
Yeah.
They have good chemistry, and
They do.
yeah, she's a good addition.
Yeah, and she's also infected.
Yeah,
they're both suffering from the same disease.
They are both. They are both
infected
infected
together. Yeah.
This was surprising to me, because I was missing that puzzle piece. But yeah.
All right, on to what was then another jaw-dropping moment for me, and I think a lot of people, and a return of a character I was not expecting.
No.
And
Mr. X,
the tyrant from RE2, not the exact same one, but
no,
a replica. I was dumbfounded. Like when it happened, I was just like, whoa. And what did you think? What do you think about this? Because
What was Mhm.
some people online have said there's been too much fan service in this game.
Okay, so my initial reaction was okay, and I wasn't terrified or anything because I had my moments in Resident Evil 2 remake with him. He was terrifying, and then I figured out you could walk and he wouldn't hear you. It was just background noise or yeah, stuff like that. And so it was nice to see him. It was a fan service moment. I agree. For me, it wasn't too much, but I can see why people think that way, that it was too much fan service, especially with the short RPD moment where Leon is running around the RPD. No, the
Yeah,
the RPD. The library, very iconic location room in the second game, and so. Yeah, it was good, but I can see why people complain about that. What are your thoughts?
When he came, I was stunned, and I was kind of happy. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" But then I guess, as a fan of the series, I guess I would have that reaction. I don't like the sequence that you have to escape from him. I just find it annoying, and there's one corridor that always trips me up, even though I've played the game 3 times. But there's always this one corridor I'm like, "Oh, you're meant to go that way," and yeah, it's. Then I remember when I walked away from him, I was like, it'd be cool to fight him as a boss. And I think we should talk about boss fights after in a second, because I have some points on that. I think when you look at the wider game, you could take him out and it wouldn't change anything. So I do think Mr. X was. Yeah. I think it was a fan service moment, and that's fine. I don't have a big issue with it. My big issue will be the boss fight, which we'll talk about in a second. But and then we had a big return, which was interesting, is Oswald Spencer, who is technically the main villain of the Resident Evil world, because he is the head of Umbrella. He's the guy obsessed with immortality and viruses. And it's at his mansion where the game series began in Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
The Spencer Mansion. So basically, Alyssa Ashcroft, who returns from Resident Evil Outbreak, who's the mother of Grace, Alyssa interviews Spencer, and Spencer shows near the end of his life that he felt a bit bad and perhaps had a bit of guilt about the decisions he made. And I thought it was interesting. I think some people have accused it of being retconning, but other people have said that it's not. It's just it's adding new context to what we already knew. And I don't know what this will mean for the remakes, the future remakes. If they've now shown this part, the end of his life, will it affect an appearance in an upcoming remake? Because he does appear in Resident Evil 5, so I don't know. But I thought it was cool. I thought showing him gave the game a bigger scale. Like some Resident Evils I can play and I'm like, we're just in this location and we have to do this one thing. That's all this is. It doesn't connect too much to the wider world. RE4 is like that, by the way. RE4 is like its own little thing that happens in Spain. Even though it's my favorite game, but it's just its own little thing that happens in Spain, whereas this game felt like, oh my god, this is huge, the whole series is here and this is all connected. And I thought they did that good. So I really like watching those scenes where Spencer's being interviewed.
Again, I didn't play the first game and I missed out on that. Maybe that's why I didn't catch the subtle hints to the real ending, the good ending, the intended ending. But after that I read a little bit about it and I think I read about it or maybe watched a video or something, and so I know where this is, not where, who he is. Sorry,
Yeah.
who he is. And I think I love that when big characters, important characters from the first game get a little redemption arc. That felt good to me, and I have not, my connections to this character are not strong, but I like it. I mean, if you take the fact that he is in 1 and then 9, and he is the head of Umbrella, I think that's a cool thing, and I'm excited for the future, honestly. And I do want to play more Resident Evil games. I'm not necessarily sure about whether or not I should play the original Resident Evils or wait for the remakes, because I can't, the tank controls and the static camera, it's too frustrating for me, and I don't have that nostalgia that many people have, right?
I will just subtly mention that RE5 and RE6 are co-op. That's all I'll say, and we'll leave that at that.
I will subtly drop. I own the Resident Evil 5 copy of the game. So just keeping it out there.
It's just interesting. My maths isn't very good, but we both own RE5. And it's co-op, and we both hate the controls. This is just, I just think there's an equation that could be solved.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think we've touched upon all the other characters. Oh, well, we can bring up the Lickers.
Yeah.
Well, they're okay. They deserve some love.
Yeah, they deserve. I would never. It's surprising that I say I like the Lickers. I was surprised to see them, and great reappearance.
Yeah, they're such a disgusting, horrific monster to look at, and they're very scary. But when they return, I was kind of like, oh wow! I was like, good to see you, buddy. I haven't fought you in a while, you know. They were a bit underpowered. You know, RE2, they're a big deal. Like, it's a big deal in RE2.
Yeah, I felt the same. But that's why they weren't as scary, and I could celebrate them being in the game.
Yeah.
And for me, it's more like a fan service. And it added to the old school Resident Evil feeling I had when playing the second game. So I was a little bit tired of Leon in Raccoon City at the end of his part. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It was too much action for me, because I'm a big fan of the uncertainty of the survival horror part, and so I was like happy that the arc part of the game was how the game ended. That was great. I get back again to the
traditional.
Yeah, the traditional big facility, underground facility
type thing.
Yeah, scary enemies, but not too scary because you know how to act around them.
Yeah.
Same with Mr. X, right? Once you have figured out how to be around these type of enemies, they are not as scary anymore, and I really enjoyed that. I do like the arc section of the game.
The doorway when you open it is so amazing. That whole sequence is great.
Yeah.
I want to touch upon a few subjects. So I want to talk about the boss fights, and then I do want to talk about Raccoon City, please.
Yes.
I have to be honest. I think the boss fights really let the game down. Okay. I felt this on my first playthrough when I finished the game. I sat there and I was taking it all in. I was really happy. I was really like, man, the boss fights really sucked, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. So can we recall all the boss fights? What's the first?
Leon versus Chunk in the attic.
Yeah, Chunk. Okay.
I think his name's Chunk, or that's his brother's name. But the big guy, the
big guy in the attic. Yeah.
Who just gets. You get him stuck in the door frame and he's poking his head through, and you just keep headshotting him, and it's fine. It's not a bad boss fight. It's a good intro boss fight, you know, to get used to Leon. You get the shotgun, so that's fine. Okay, I'll let that go. Grace doesn't have a boss Oh no, Grace has a
The
boss fight, but you have to do something during it. You don't really fight her.
yeah,
The
in
lady.
the
You open
basement where
the three
you yeah,
generators.
the three generators
Yeah,
to open
it's
the big yeah
yeah. You're not really. You just shoot her and stun her, and then
yeah
you do the thing. It's a
yeah
puzzle. It's not really a boss fight. That's fine. That's
yeah
fine.
yeah yeah.
I'd say Grace's boss fight is probably when she gets Emily to open the puzzle, and there's like 5 enemies in the
Oh yeah,
underground.
the
Yeah,
yeah the timed survival
yeah,
sequence.
yeah. And you
Yeah,
need bullets, and you need to really be good.
yeah.
Oh, my light keeps going off. Leon's next boss fight is the spider
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
when you enter Raccoon City.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it has a shock moment, but it's not
Yeah,
really.
it's okay.
Yeah.
He has the
Yeah.
thing on his back you have to hit, the weak point, but then you
Mm.
can't get to it, and then
Yeah.
it's okay. And then his next boss fight is Mr. Rex. Now,
Mm.
I had, because of maybe all the cutscenes, I'd kind of semi forgotten about Mr. Rex. I just thought it was a cameo back at RPD. So you go out, you go to the orphanage, you do some things. No, it's before the orphanage, sorry. But yeah, you do a few things. You go to the car park of Raccoon Police Department, which is funny. And then when he landed, I was like, here we go. This is a boss fight, years in the making, you know? I was like, this is it, the final real punch up between you and Mr. X. And it's such a, I just thought it was such a bad boss fight. I did it on my first go. He just,
Okay.
he just runs at you and swings. You jump out the way. You keep shooting his chest. He'll then throw a car at you. You hide behind a car, or you run out the way. Like, I don't know. What did you think of the Mr. X boss fight?
What did I think of the Mr. X boss fight? My opinion underlying is glad that it was not frustrating. It was a
Yeah.
bit generic, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't like the arena at all. Yeah.
Why didn't you like the arena?
It was the cars around, and I think I was more stuck on cars than anything else.
Yeah.
And it's just a feeling, right? I don't analyze everything in that moment. It's just a feeling I have. It was okay, like you said. I unloaded all my magazines into his chest. I tried to avoid it. He hit me with a car. Sometimes he wouldn't even throw the car in my direction. Sometimes, and
Like 50, if I remember correctly, I've done it 3 times. 50% of the boss fight, maybe 60%. I kid you not, is him standing there and you're shooting his
yeah,
chest.
yeah,
He's just standing like 30 yards away on a car like
Yeah.
this, and you're
Yeah.
just shooting his chest. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I
do you wanna
noticed
attack
that.
Me? Do you want to do
I
something?
noticed that he
Then he
wasn't
runs
very.
at you,
Yeah,
and you can parry his arm. His
yeah, you
big
can
arm,
parry him with the head.
and then he pauses on the floor. Then you just keep unloading, and I was just like, "What is this?" I really was disappointed. Also, upon reflection, maybe that fight should have happened in the police department to make it more iconic.
Yeah.
And he's chasing you through, and there's tight corridors, and it's a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the arena was boring.
But I think it wasn't. If the boss fight had happened in the police department, I think I wouldn't seen it as a boss fight, because in my opinion, in my mind, is you can't kill him in the police department running around.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
RE2, that's true.
And in that arena was like, okay, the game sets me up. Okay, now I can fight him. I can finally
Yeah.
beat him by unloading. Yeah.
And then you had, yeah, I just thought it was so underwhelming. And then you have the plants, boss,
yeah.
which,
I like that boss. I like that.
Okay,
boss. Visually, and it
visually
it
is good. Visually is good.
Visually, and how you finish it off, and yeah, I don't like the tentacles hitting you. I was hit like a lot of times.
But this is what I mean. It was such a simple fight. It's
Yeah,
literally keep
everything was
running
so
away
simple.
from tentacles and just
Yeah.
keep shooting him. 'cause-
Unloading, yeah.
Yeah, unloading. I just
ba, 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 ba.
but visually, and
Yeah.
Resi does this good when a monster takes up the screen and you're like
Oh.
a little person,
Yeah.
and it does look good.
Yeah.
And then the final boss fight is in two parts. Victor Gideon, who
Yeah.
again just stands there,
Yeah.
and
A reskinned Mr. X kind of.
yeah, punches you and then
Yeah.
jumps on the electricity thing. And the
Yeah.
electricity thing is so annoying. I haven't figured out the pattern because
Yeah, right. Yeah.
you run and then he's going to hit you. Then you make a quick 90-degree turn and the electricity doesn't hit you. Then he's going to hit you again. So then you almost get a bit stuck and you're like, well, I'll have to take a hit. And then his final version is literally the end boss of Resident Evil 3. He becomes Nemesis. Final version. And again, I guess it's a homage. And
and I like that. I like that monster.
Yeah,
it was.
I didn't mind it.
Easy, and I'm the Nemesis boss fight. I was glad that it wasn't difficult to find, because I'm the hero of the story. I'm prepared. I suffered through a lot, and now I want to finish off this monster, shoot a couple of weak spots. It looked visually, it was cool, and that was satisfying.
I didn't mind it because I think it was meant to be a iconic Resident Evil moment. And I think it was deliberately meant to be, this is going to be easy. Just shoot the orbs, the weak points, and then have your amazing heroic cutscene. I just think the RE4 remake has very good boss fights with variety.
Can we recall them?
So
the monster in the lake is one of them.
You fight a lake monster with a harpoon, which
by
the way is it's annoying, but it's unique. It's unique.
Yeah.
You fight the Gigante, the giant guy.
Remember
you
that.
You fight Mendez in the burning yard where he's flying off the banister things. He's hard to shoot.
In the garden.
No, in the barn. It's burning.
Oh, the barn. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Then you fight Salazar, who's like this weird octopus type monster going on the ceilings.
In the tower, yeah.
Then Krauser is an epic fight.
Ooh, yeah.
Krauser is quite a big boss fight. There's like 3-4 fights in it. I just think there was more variety and you had to rely on different weapons and different skill types. Whereas this one was just stand still and shoot them. Just stand still and shoot them. And now on occasion you might have to parry and you might take a hit. It's fine. Use a med injector and then keep shooting them. It was just, I don't know. I thought the boss fights was probably the weakest part of this game.
Yeah. How did you find the commander in the red room, the knife
Hunk.
guy?
So
Hunk.
in RE lore, he's Hunk, which is who you get to play in RE2, the Full Survivor.
Ah, he is there. Okay.
Yeah, it's confirmed. It's him. I mean, I hate the fight because it involves parrying and all that nonsense, and I'm not looking forward to doing it on Insanity. But I thought it had again the cool, iconic fan service moment.
Okay.
I thought the fight was okay. A bit frustrating.
Yeah. So I liked him the best on my Insanity run because I blew one rocket launch, one rocket into his face, and he was done. I didn't like the parrying. It was a cool location.
Yes.
I didn't make the connection that this was the Force Survivor. I just remember thinking, oh, it's another knife or melee fight. It's a Krauser moment.
It's a reskinned Krauser fight.
For me, it was a Krauser moment.
Yeah, it's a reskinned Krauser fight.
And
from
he was actually, now that I think about it, the most difficult boss to fight for me personally.
Easily. I agree. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. He was easily the hardest boss, I think.
Yeah.
I'm the one that brought you here. I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Is that true?
Raccoon City, RPD.
RPD. Okay.
So I think Raccoon City is a massive semi-open world. Lots to do, lots to get lost and confused.
Yeah.
I think deliberately so. I thought visually it's great. I thought they really nailed an apocalyptic, bombed out city. I'm gonna ask a question. Do you think it goes on for too long?
Yes.
I think that's what people feel about it. I have mixed feelings on this.
Yeah. It was interesting to explore, but it was, for me, I got lost and I refused to look anything up. And you need the goal is to find 3 parts, right? And I spent so much time by looking where I was going, and I got one very easily, of course, but then the 2 other parts I struggled to keep to find the things I should do, right? And yeah, it's a bit over the top when you are on one of the rooftops and rocket launcher things.
Yeah, the mortars.
The mortars. Oh my god, that was so annoying.
And
it was too bright. I mean, it was a good contrast to the darkness of Grace and everything, but it went on for too long. That was my biggest problem with that. Yeah.
When we got there and when I saw there's weapon upgrades, I was like, here we go. Like I was like, here we go.
Okay,
we're in the Leon section now. I was really excited because obviously I'm a Leon fanboy.
Yeah.
But as I played it, I think one thing that affects it is everything looks the same.
Yeah. Visually,
every building, everything looks the same.
Yeah.
There's one. Although I'll give a credit, there's one sequence in Raccoon City that I thought was so iconic and very great gameplay. Was, you know, when you go up the building, the final detonator piece, and you end up on a skyscraper and you're on glass. That section, I was like, this is so cool because you're on a diagonal building that's somehow still standing, and you're on glass, and you can see the street below, you can see the other buildings, and you can shoot the glass to make zombies fall through. I was like, this is cool. I remember in my head, I was like, this is Leon Last of Us.
Yeah, I had a couple of moments where I thought this looks like
Last of
Us. The beginning in the streets was
100%. I was like,
panic, cars crashing,
I was
explosions.
Like, this is Leon Last of Us.
Leon Miller,
yeah,
or Joel S. Kennedy.
I liked the skeleton zombies that come up from the ground.
Okay, yeah.
I thought they were cool. I thought they were very scary, interesting design. So with the gun upgrades, and I'm obsessed about this because I love RE4. When you access the gun upgrades, the thing that got me confused was you open this box and they're like, you can now upgrade the 3 weapons you have when you play the game. You get a bolt action rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun. Classic. And now you can buy more shotguns, more pistols. You can't buy another rifle. You have to find the rifle. So I'm looking at the stats, and unfortunately it's annoying because it's in video games. This always bothers me. I like my stats to be numbers, so it's easy for me to compare.
Yep.
Whereas they go for like a bar.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the bar and I'm like, the power of this weapon bar is this big, the power is this big, so that means that one's more powerful. But anyway, it's fine. But when I was looking at the weapons, I was like, well, my shotgun is crapper than the other shotguns. My pistol is crapper than the other pistol. So then I was like, why would I upgrade these? I'll just buy new ones. So I don't know. One thing RE4 nails is that, you know, in RE4, you can use your first few weapons for the whole game. They're actually fantastic. And the RE4 gives you great choices of weapons. It really makes you think. It's like, well, this pistol's good at that, but this pistol's good at this. And it depends on your play style. And in this game, to me, it was quite clear. I was like, well, this is the best shotgun, so I'll buy this. This is the best pistol. The rifle I kept, the bolt action rifle, I think is still the
Yeah,
best.
that's the best rifle.
And I like
agree.
using that in the game. But I just found it a bit mismanaged.
Yeah.
Mismanaged is the word I'll use.
I agree. And I'm not a big fan in any game. Give me 3 different type of guns. Give me a pistol, give me a shotgun, give me a rifle, and let me upgrade it. That's it. That's all I need. I want to feel more powerful. I don't want to compare stats and bars and which of these 3 shotguns do I use? And to me, it doesn't matter. Or it didn't matter. I stuck with my initial guns. I upgraded them because I was So that was something, and I didn't upgrade my weapons for the longest time because I didn't press R2 to switch over to the upgrade tab. That was confused. The menu.
The menu is just all black and white, and I remember watching when my wife played it, and she was getting confused because I said to her, she left the menu, and I was like, aren't you going to upgrade the weapon? She's like, how, where? And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, and then I was looking at it from her perspective, and I was like, yeah, actually, it's kind of not very obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, it is if you're like geeked out and you're really studying the screen like I was, but to casually observing, it's just.
I mean, it's also you get presented with a couple of weapons, right? It incentivizes, hey, buy these new weapons, and then on the next tab or on the next menu screen, it's an upgrade. Why? Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that for the longest time, and it confused me as well. And I would consider myself a gamer. I have played a lot of games, but I didn't see that. It wasn't clear to me. All black and white, like you said. And
and whilst we're on black and white color scheme, the attaché case for Leon is the exact same as Village. Exact same logo, same color scheme. And in RE4, everything's colored and you can see it easy. So with my attaché case with Leon, I didn't even bother arranging it. And I normally have OCD about this. When I play RE4, I'm very obsessed about my case and where things are. In this game, I was like, everything looks the same. I can't see what's different. It was really annoying. I wish the handgun ammo was red, the shotgun ammo was green. The grenade,
yeah.
It was just little things. 'Cause then when you're looking for your grenades, and you're like, where are my grenades? How many do I have? It's just, but yeah. I'm going to do another playthrough soon for fun, just to kind of play through the game again, and I'll be interested in this Raccoon City, what I think, because I know some people think it goes on too long, and I do slightly think that. What did you think of RPD, which was?
It was fun. I felt right at home. I was sad, or not sad, but it was too short. It was a glimpse. I got a glimpse of RE2. It was more a fan service than anything. The gameplay. I mean, you circle around, go up a ladder, pick up the what's the code to open the door, and that's it basically, right?
Yeah.
And and then Mr. X appears. So. Yeah.
When you go in there, because they had that epic cutscene when Leon opens the door, and it's great. It's a great camera shot on Leon, and it's all good, and you get emotional. They play the original music. Did you notice the piano keys? I was like, this is huge. I guess I thought going into the game, I thought Raccoon City would be its section with enemies. That's what I thought. I thought we were going to get like RE2, but 30 years later for like an hour. What we do in East Raccoon City with Leon, I thought some of that or a lot of that would be in RPD. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I'm not disappointed. I think RPD was like a fan service memory moment, like an emotional moment in the story. And that's it. There's some cool touches. Like You know, the police officer who sits on the floor, he's dead. You go up to him and you
Yeah.
press X, and the same line comes, I think, from RE2, where they're like his jaw has fallen off, or the bottom half of his
Yeah.
jaw is missing. And I was like, oh, that's cool. There's another police officer at the vending machine,
Yeah.
which I was like, this is funny. This is cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like a homage. It's not,
Definitely.
it's like a museum. You go and
A
look.
little bit.
You go and
Yeah.
look, don't touch. It's, it's,
Yeah. Okay, good reference. Yeah.
yeah.
Good comparison. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Favorite and least favorite parts of the game.
So definitely for me, all Grace parts, because I really, 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 really love the survival aspect.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of it. And that I didn't like the bike chase too much, the bike ride, but when you jump at the end and you get this cool overview shot, that was peak. That was
It's
great.
great. Yeah,
that was
great.
good. I like the arc part with Grace. It felt Resident Evil. Now that I know how the girl, the big enemy for Grace, now that I know how it moves and how it behaves, and I can deal with the terror and everything, I really love that. This enemy had me on my seat the whole time, and even on later playthroughs. So that was my favorite boss in that way. Something else. I did enjoy Leon, and that he felt different gameplay wise, but his parts were a bit too long. These are my favorite parts. What about you?
The Rhodes Hill Care Center with Grace is fantastic. It's like it's like survival horror perfection. It's really fantastic.
Yeah.
I like Leon Raccoon City. It is one of my favorite parts of the game. I can't lie.
Fair.
It is.
Fair.
I like going. I like semi-open worlds in games. I like when they do that, like in Uncharted 4, when they give you a big section and go, here you go, do your objectives the way you want. I liked his gunplay.
Felt satisfying.
I liked Leon's entire journey in this game. I liked all the trauma when he goes to Kendo's gun shop and he has the flashbacks to Kendo. He's clearly a guy who cares and takes everything with him. And so every person he saw die is like on his guilt and affects him. I like that. I like Leon's journey. I liked the overall feeling I had when I was playing the game. I felt like this is the 30th anniversary game.
Yep.
This is not just a random RE game they just came out. Like, this felt very deliberate, and it felt like they reflected on the whole series, and there's homages to it. I like that a lot. Least favorite parts of the game.
Only
who wants to say it? Who wants to say
the
it?
orphanage. The awful
Yay,
orphanage.
the orphanage. Let's play orphanage with Emily.
Yeah, brave. Oh.
There is an important cutscene between Zeno and Grace. He's explaining things to her, as Hollywood villains do, and then he shows this girl. Emily plays a big part in the story. She's lovely, really great character.
Yeah.
It's not actually Emily you play as. It's a clone, because Emily's clones. And I don't know why RE games do this, but nearly every RE game has this section where you're an underpowered side character and you have to like go around hiding and then get to a door eventually. This section has it. I think if you speed run it, it takes about 7 minutes. It's awful. It adds nothing to the story. It completely, if anything, it takes you out the story.
Yeah, exactly.
You're playing it and you're like, why am I an 8-year-old girl in an orphanage in 1991? Why is this happening? This has nothing to do with the story. It adds nothing.
I agree.
And there's this awkward bit where the two evil girls go into the final office.
The evil girl.
You leave your room, you go downstairs, you
Yeah.
go into that corridor.
Yeah.
Those two girls, like, it took me ages to activate them to carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! So that made
Yeah,
it
you
worse
can
for
trigger.
me.
You can trigger it by
You
going
go back out. Go
yeah,
back out.
under the table. I think you hide under
Yeah.
the table and then immediately go back. Yeah, yeah.
I was just like, so that made it worse for me.
Mm.
It's just awful, and it's going to be one of those bits where each time you replay the game, you get there and you're like, oh my god.
Yep. And
It's-
it's an atmospheric moment the first time because of the creepy
Yeah.
doll-like enemies, but that's it.
But even on my first playthrough, I was very pro the game, loving it. I was like, why am I doing this? At first, I was like, what's going on here? This is
Yeah, what's
interesting.
going on? And then it's annoying.
And then eventually I was like, no, there's nothing achieving. We're not achieving anything here.
Yeah.
This is unnecessary.
And then you die. I was spotted while holding the key, and I peeked out, and I was spotted, and I had
Yeah.
to redo the whole sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the girls keep laughing and giggling.
Yeah,
It's so
all
annoying.
the time. 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah. I think one thing with Resident Evil, one thing they do, and this is completely admirable and understandable, is they design their game to be the best it can be on your first playthrough.
Yeah,
That's fine. But the other thing with Resident Evil is it's a very replayable game. And on replay, some things are a bit annoying, like the orphanage we just discussed, and then the intro as well, like the Renwood Hotel
the
kind
intro.
of intro.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Which is on the first playthrough, it's outstanding. It's very cinematic. It's very unsettling. It starts building up the horror. But then on replays, you kind of just want to get into the game and have fun. And yeah.
Exactly.
Which is, I think, a problem that can affect many games. But yeah.
One thing I have not mentioned about the positive side, and I go through my list of positive things, and one thing Resident Evil does really, really well. I had this moment in Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil Requiem. It's the first area of the game in general is so scary. It's closed off. You feel like claustrophobic. You don't know where you are. You have no resources. You feel overwhelmed. And after a couple of hours, you have opened up the place. You know where you're going. You don't have to look at the map too much. You have cleared out maybe a section and can move freely. You run around like nothing. You know exactly what and that feeling of conquering that specific situation is absolutely satisfying and great. I love that. And it was the reward for my initial frustration, because in the beginning I was so frustrated and I couldn't believe it. But after my second play session of a couple of hours, I felt great and it felt rewarding. And it's the same thing with the lickers, right? In the second in the second game, they feel terrifying, or Mr. X even, they feel terrifying. But once you know how to deal with them, they become manageable. And then it was the same in this game. I wasn't scared. It felt like, okay, I have a tool or I have a strategy to deal with them, and I feel stronger. I feel not overpowered, but I feel equipped with the right strategies to deal with them. And that's something Resident Evil does very well. That feeling that if you put in the work and you slow down, you explore everything, you get that knowledge, and that is almost more important than the actual bullets you get and everything. Yeah, that's a great. Then the next thing is the convenience. Resident Evil is very convenient, especially in the way that not items you used, they disappear from your inventory. For example, when you use a key 2 times maybe, and then it is removed from your inventory, you have 1 space free for that, and it's that's just the mark on the map. The icons on the map are very good for exploration. And then I think having the full picture of a second playthrough. Oh, so you have this first playthrough, and then you play through the game again, and you know everything. You have the complete picture. That is also a great feeling. You cut through sections a lot faster. Yeah, that's the thing I love about. And I don't like replaying games a lot, but Resident Evil makes it very satisfying.
They really nail it. I don't know how. They really nail the replayability of their games. It should be studied. I mean, I think on RE4, I think easily it's over 50 playthroughs now, easily. And it's just, I just don't know what it is about these games. They just make them so fun to replay.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as I played Requiem as well, I was like, I want to play Village again, and I want to play this one again. And
I
want to play
had that
2
feeling
again.
too.
I really want to play 2 again, and Village as well, because it was the
I
last
had
one.
I felt my thought was I want to play more Resident Evil, and that's a good thing, right? You play a game and you have the I want to play more. Yeah. And the question is, which game is next? RE5, RE Village? Yeah, these are probably my next Resident Evils. Nice. I have one question. Maybe it's out of place right now, but Grace was bitten, right? Does that come into play? Is that for the future? Maybe I didn't miss anything, right?
So the cop.
Yeah, the cop in the
Grace
beginning.
On her arm or her shoulder. Yeah. I think when you next see her lying upside down having the blood transfusion, I think he's cured her.
Okay.
That's my reading of it.
Okay.
Because it's never referred to again. She never coughs.
Yeah, I was confused. Okay.
Yeah. I saw her, she's bandaged here and she's bandaged on her chest for some reason. And I'm presuming because he has the gun where he can make you a zombie, he has the virus and a tranquilizer. I think he also has cures. So my reading is he needs her because she's the chosen one, the special one.
Makes sense.
He cured her.
And it was just a shock moment to shock people. Oh, she's bitten.
Yeah, because also you're at this point, you're half an hour into your brand new game and you're like, what? Yeah. You're like, what? She just got bit. Like, what the hell's going on? So
Okay. Makes sense.
That was my reading of it.
Okay.
Should we give our final score out of 10?
Okay.
Ranking?
Ranking. Ready? Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
So my overall ranking is 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's a fun game, but it has too many things I would love differently.
Okay.
And so I think it's still top 3 for me.
I'm 9 out of 10.
9 out, okay. Yeah.
Maybe 9.5. Maybe if I play it again, it might be 9.5, but it's definitely 9 out of 10. Ranking in all the Resi games you've played so far. I've played, funny enough, 9 games. Not 1 to 9, but I've played 9 games coincidentally. So
name them so we can get a picture of your knowledge.
I've played Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then 7, 8, Village, Revelations 1, and Requiem.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've watched, it sounds cheesy, but I've watched many YouTubers play through 5 and and a bit of 6. So I know what happens in 5, but I need to play it myself. So that's where I've played. You?
Okay. Resident Evil, I played the beginning of 1, but didn't come far. So I have no knowledge of that game. I played through in Platinum 2, 3, 4, 7, and Requiem.
5, nice.
5, yeah. Nice. And it's becoming a favorite series of mine just because the gameplay loop is so fun, and I'm looking forward to Village and even GTA 5, Resident Evil 5. Yeah, I think my favorite still is Resident Evil 2, and we discussed this. I think I like Resident Evil 3 a lot more than most people, just
Yeah,
because
which just makes me happy.
the overall experience was fun. It was more of two, but not as
Yeah.
long. It didn't drag out. And of course, I'm not a fan. I don't know what I'm missing out. I think people love Resident Evil 3, the original, and they
Yeah.
were disappointed how they handled Nemesis and whatnot in that game, in the remake. And so I liked Resident Evil 3 just because not as much struggle as in the others. And then I think Requiem, because overall it's a very good game, fun. It has both. Um, then 7, and yeah, that's it, I think. And I want more of the survival part. I'm a big fan of the survival Resident Evil, terrifying enemies sneaking around. I don't need as much action. And I think that's what makes 7 and parts of 9 a little bit lower on the list. Because
Okay.
Resident Evil 7, the house, the baker's house is peak
Yeah.
gameplay in first
Yeah.
person. But then the boat with the
Yeah, the
moldy
ship.
enemies is like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
Yeah, the ship. I don't like the
And
ship.
that's one thing. And I heard, and you don't have to comment on that, I heard Resident Evil a Village is more action focused, and I'm unsure about whether or not I like it, but I'm definitely interested in playing that game. And what about you? What's your ranking?
My ranking is Requiem is top 3. So for me, it's RE4 number 1, RE2 as number 2, and then Requiem is third place. I just think I think it's one of the strongest stories in a Resident Evil game. I think they really get you. They try hard to get you emotionally attached, and I like that. And I felt that while playing it, I was like, you really cared about the story and the cutscenes. And my question is, do you think they should stick to this formula of this person gives you survival horror, this person gives you action in the same game? Or should we, going forward, go back to this RE10 will be a survival horror game, and then RE11 is going to be like an RE4, 5, 6 game with action, with an action hero, Leon or Chris? What do you like?
Good question. Really good question. And I'm answering this with my personal taste in mind. I like both parts, but I want less action, a lot less action, because when I imagine myself playing like Resident Evil 10, and then I know it's 11 is more action, and I don't like that, and I don't play that, then I would miss out on more Resident Evil and the story, and I only would get half the story, and I don't like that fact or that thought. And so I think they should keep both parts in the game, but for my taste, they should balance it more towards survival horror, because Resident Evil is survival horror for me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm drawn to the game. When I want to play a shooter or action game, then I play other games.
Yeah.
And I love the characters, and Leon especially. He's one of my favorites now. I'm not as obsessed as other people, and I have seen ridiculous memes about him, and it's but yeah, so, and I like that Capcom gives us the freedom. We can choose between the camera modes. We can choose how we want to play the game, and that's fine.
In a very wild way, you could say there's 4 games in this one game.
Yeah, a little
Because
bit. Yeah.
if you could change the camera, because when you play Leon first person, oh my god, it's like Call of Duty. Like, it's wild. It's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I was like, oh my god, this is like
Maybe
Resident Evil became Call of Duty in
Yeah.
a good way, not a bad way.
maybe I make another do another playthrough with Grace third person and Leon first person. That would be
Yeah.
interesting.
That would be interesting. I think going forward, I don't mind if they mix it. I think what I would prefer is in RE2 we had 2 campaigns, Leon and Claire.
Yeah,
I would like
exactly.
the next game, for example, to be, say, Chris and Jill, and Chris is the action campaign and Jill is the survival horror, and there's a bit of overlap. They both go to the same location, different
overlap. Yeah.
times. And there's a few
100%.
cutscenes where they bump into each other, whatever. But I would like that, so that when you go to replay it, you can be like, oh, I'm in the mood for Jill's horror section, I'm going to play that. Or I want action, I'm going to play this. So I'd prefer that, maybe.
That approach.
But
Yeah, that's a good approach. And yeah, 100%. That's what I liked about RE2. Because you had interactions, right? The characters influence each other, make open doors, or maybe help each other out. That's what I like about this. And I don't mind if one section then is a bit shorter, the action campaign, for example, because I don't need to solve both puzzles, the puzzles twice with both characters.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I'm excited for the future of Resident Evil, and I think RE9 created that feeling.
Yeah.
And very happy that you sold the game to me when I asked you about it. Really, peak job. Really,
Nice.
I'm glad we're having this discussion, and it shows how good the game is. We've been talking for like almost 2 hours, and I could still talk about it, and it's great. And I'm looking forward to playing more Resident Evil. Yeah.
I think excellent game, really excellent game, very well made.
I agree. And do you know? You mentioned there is another, I think, trilogy of games that are coming. Do you know which ones those are, or is that known, or?
From Resident Evil. Nothing's confirmed, but I think the internet is very confident that we get the Code Veronica remake next year.
Okay.
And I'm very confident. I think we're getting a remake next year, and I think it's Code Veronica.
Okay.
Code Veronica is Chris and Claire and Albert Wesker.
Sign me up for it. Now it sounds good. I don't want to know anything about it, but yeah, sign me up for that. Sounds good.
What I've come to realize is Capcom is so huge and so dedicated to Resident Evil that there are multiple groups working on multiple games. So it's not like the remake 4 team finished in 2023 and went, let's make Requiem now. It's not like that. They're all overlapping. So there is someone now who's probably 1 year into RE10 already. Working on it. So this game has shown me they do have a plan, a big plan. And so I think Code Veronica next year, then either Resident Evil 0 remake or RE5 remake, and then probably a brand new game. This story expansion for Requiem will come out as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be huge. And then we'll probably get RE10 probably at least 4 years from now, I think. I think that's just natural.
Yeah. Man, I'm struggling to find the right balance, because I do want to know more about the whole world and situation, because I'm missing out on the Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
All of these sides, I don't know anything about Resident Evil 0 or Code Veronica. I have heard these names, but they mean nothing to me. And they have me intrigued. But I don't necessarily want to play the old ways. That's keeping me.
Yeah, Code Veronica is very old. I've made a conscious decision not to play it. I'm gonna wait for a remake. It's very old.
Okay.
It's very hard to platinum, and
Yeah.
Zero I can play because I played 1. I'll play 0, and I want to do 5 and 6. But yeah, Veronica, I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Anything else we haven't discussed? Of course, we don't touch on the future because I'm not very knowledgeable about anything that's going on. I know there's certain factions and character names pop up. For example, okay, I know a little bit of Jill. I have heard of Chris, of course. He's a big name. But I don't know anything about him. And yeah, returning characters we have discussed. I think that's it, right?
I think so.
We ranked everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for our listeners, if you have questions for us, you can leave them in the comments and we can answer them as best as we can. But yeah, so that's our first special episode. How do you feel about it?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I feel very good, and I'm also very ready for our next special episode, which we know what it's going to be about, and we're preparing that. So yeah, we're going to have more special episodes that are more just gaming related, not necessarily platinum trophy hunting dedicated.
Yeah.
So and I think you're all going to be very happy with the subject of our second special episode when we announce it. But yeah, this game deserved it, and I'm glad that our first ever special episod was a Resident Evil one.
It felt natural. It felt natural.
Yeah, it felt right.
I'm slowly converting into that fandom.
And you know, I'm not huge on awards. I think they can be a bit toxic, but I really do hope this game wins Game of the Year. I think for I can't think of many series that have run for 30 years and are still dropping absolute 9 out of 10 bangers to this day. Like, it's quite astonishing, you know?
Yeah, they managed to recover. And with Resident Evil 7.
It's very rare, you know?
It's crazy, yeah.
Resident Evil, Zelda. It's very few that have this kind of long run. So I do hope they get a Game of the Year just for the brand, for the name, the series. I think the series deserves a big award.
Yeah. If so, then I have something to talk about, because last year I didn't play any new games really, and I couldn't talk about any of them. And now I have a candidate for Game of the Year. That's great. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Guys, thanks a lot for watching and listening. Please hit the like button, and if you enjoyed this content, the podcast is only growing stronger. We're going to have more special episodes and deep dives. We're still going to have our monthly trophy hunting dedicated podcast. We're also going to start to have special guests on our trophy hunting podcast. So please, I think this is a good time to hit the subscribe button, because we have loads more good content coming to you, and the podcast is just growing and growing. So thanks to your support. So I hope you guys enjoyed our review, spoiler and non-spoiler reviews of Resident Evil Requiem. I think on behalf of both of us, we really recommend buying this game and playing it. I think it's fantastic. And I'll let Score finish up.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future for Resident Evil, for the podcast. I'm really looking forward to the episode with the guest and our next special episode. Thanks for your support. If you have any question, leave them in the comments for our next regular episode. Your questions are great, and let us know what you think of this special episode, of this format. Maybe suggest topics for that. What should we tackle in the future? Discuss them. And nothing to say here. Have a nice day. Enjoy your. I hope we helped you earn some trophies along the way with our talking. That's always the biggest compliment. And see you in the next episode. Bye.
Take care.